Do you know that in an emergency situation, when you need to transfuse an individual and you do not know that individual's blood type, that the most compatible blood to give to that individual is the O negative blood type? Do you know what component makes the O negative blood type most compatible for all the other different types of blood type that we have? We shall soon find out in this edition of Body Gist. Hello everyone, welcome to this edition on Body Gist. In this edition, we want to look at the different blood types and the most compatible blood type, why we call the O negative blood type the universal donor. If you are just joining us, I am Sister Augusta. I am a sister of St. Louis. I am a nurse and a midwife. This is me saying thank you to all our returning subscribers. For those that are just joining us, ensure you click on the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so that you always get notified anytime we upload new videos. You can as well follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Ensure you watch this video to the very end because it promises to be very interesting. Do not go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, for us to understand the reason why the O negative blood type is the most compatible blood type to give blood in an emergency situation, let us understand some factors about our blood. Now, the blood is the component that moves around our blood and supplies oxygen and nutrients to the whole part of the body. Now, this blood has three types of cells. We have the red cell, the red blood cell, the white blood cell, and the platelets. We shall be focusing on the red blood cell. For an individual who is Rhesus positive, it means that that individual has a protein present on the surface of the red cells. So if these proteins are present, we say that that individual is Rhesus positive. If the individual does not have protein present on the surface of his red cells, so we say that that individual is Rhesus negative. So when we use the word Rhesus positive or Rhesus negative, Rhesus positive says that the individual has protein present on the surface of his red cells, and Rhesus negative means that that individual does not have protein present on the surface of its red cells. In describing the different blood types, we shall be using the ABO factor, the ABO system. The ABO simply means that A, B, O, and we'll use it to describe the different blood types. We already know that we have different types of blood type, but the most common that are around us is that an individual might have a blood type that is either A or B or AB or O. So that is the ABO system. Now, if we say that an individual has a blood type A, it means that that individual has an antigen A present in his red blood cell. That is the reason why you can say an individual's blood type is A. If you say that an individual blood type is B, it means that an individual has the antigen B present in his red cells. If you say that an individual has the blood type AB, it means that that individual has an antigen of A and B present in its red cells. And if you say that an individual has a O blood type, it means that that individual does not have any antigen present in his blood type. So because we cannot give, in describing that blood type, it does not have any antigen, so we use the word O for that individual. So if an individual has a blood type that is A antigen is present in the blood type, in the red blood cell of that individual. If the individual has a blood type that is B antigen is present in the red cells. If the individual has AB blood type, AB antigen is present. And if the individual has an O blood type, it means that there is no antigen present in that person's red blood cell. So in addition to classifying blood as the blood type as ABO, we also classify blood based on the presence of whether there is a Rhesus factor present or whether there is no Rhesus factor present. So if Rhesus factor is present, I've said it before, it means that that individual is Rhesus positive. And if the Rhesus factor is not present on the surface of the red blood cell, it means that that individual is Rhesus negative. So an individual can have an A antigen present in his red blood cell and also have a Rhesus factor present in its red cells. So you say that that individual is A positive. Then if an individual has A antigen present but does not have a rhesus factor present, you see that that individual is A negative. That also goes for B. If an individual has a B antigen present in his red cells, you see that that individual is B positive. But if the individual does not have the rhesus factor present but has the B antigen present, you see that the individual is B negative. If an individual has both A and B antigen present and also has a rhesus factor present, you see that that individual is AB positive. If the individual has A and B antigen present but does not have a rhesus factor, you see that that individual is AB negative. If an individual does not have antigen present but has a rhesus factor present, you see that that individual is O positive. But if the individual does not have antigen present and does not also have a rhesus factor present, you see that that individual is rhesus negative. So it therefore means that an individual can either be A positive or A negative. That is having a blood type that is either A positive or A negative. Or the individual can have B positive or have B negative. Or an individual can have AB positive or AB negative, or O positive or O negative. All these are dependent on whether the type of antigen present on the surface of the red blood cell, and also whether the rhesus factor is present or it is not present. That is either present or absent. So this determines the individual's blood type. All these are inherited factors from both parents. Both parents contribute to the factor making up the individual's blood type. Whether you have A or B or AB or O blood type, it is just your unique character or traits which you have inherited from your parent. It doesn't mean any form of sickness or disease. It just means that you inherited those traits from your parents, and that is what makes up the individual's blood type. Now, why are we talking about this blood type? We are looking at the reason why the O negative blood type is the most compatible type of blood type. If you have followed this gist very well, remember we are gisting at Body Gist. If you have followed this gist very well, you would realize that an individual with O negative does not have O antigen present in his blood, in this red blood cell, and also does not have a rhesus factor present. It means that if you don't have any antigen present in your blood type and you don't have a rhesus factor, when you give blood to anybody who has, whether the person has a rhesus factor present or the person does not have a rhesus factor present, whether the person has an antigen present or that person does not have an antigen present, there will not be any transfusion reaction. There won't be any reaction due to that genetic makeup, and that is why the O negative is the most compatible of all the blood types. So in case of emergency and you are thinking of giving blood to someone and you do not know that person's individual's blood type, but ensure that you screen your blood, screen the blood of, to be sure that that blood is free from all the other viruses or microbes that are going to be present in the blood. But this O negative blood type is the most compatible because it has no antigen present in it. That individual does not have any antigen present in his blood type, and that individual also does not have any rhesus factor present in his blood type that can cause any reaction if the recipient is receiving the blood. In this video, we have looked at the different blood types, and we have looked at the components that make each blood type. We have said that if any of the blood type, whether A or B or AB, it means that there is those antigens are present in that blood type, and that's what gives them the name. And if there is no antigen present at all, it means that that individual has a O blood type. And if a rhesus factor is present, it means that that individual is rhesus positive. And if there is no rhesus factor present, that individual is rhesus negative. And we've also looked at the fact that O negative is the most compatible blood type to give to any individual, most especially in case of emergency, because O negative contains no antigen present on its red cell surface, and it also contains no rhesus factor. These two components are the components that can cause transfusion reaction in case of emergency when you don't know the individual's blood type. So since those are not present on that individual's blood type, that is in the O negative blood type, O negative is the safest blood to give at any point in time in case of emergency, or even if you know the individual's blood type and you can't get any other type of that particular blood type for that individual. Let's say that individual is AB positive. If you can't get an AB positive at that particular point in time, O negative is the safest blood type to give. I hope you have been enlightened and you have enjoyed this edition on Body Gist. Thanks for watching this video to the end, and thanks all of you who are always following us on Body Gist. Ensure you share this video with your loved ones. Remember, you might be saving a life. Follow us on our next video where we shall be looking at genotype and their compatible genotypes in case an individual wants to get married. I am Sister Ozo Augusta. Keep following us on Body Gist while we keep giving you healthy gists.